we'll start with you, William, and then we'll go to Rudolph and Danny, see if you have some thoughts on this as well. The evil alerts.
Yeah, sure. And this is actually something that comes up a lot when you listen to people talk about how AI has changed people from an attack perspective. So in general, what people are seeing is that tools such as GPT that allow people to generate attacks, it hasn't really changed in the sense that we don't see much more complex attacks or new attacks, but we see a high volume of attacks, a volume of threats coming out. But there's a point where quantity is a quality of its own. It means that there is a point where there are so many alerts that you're going to get alert fatigue and you're going to stop using the solution. So this comes from an increasing volume of real threats that are coming. It also is because a lot of advanced solutions are starting to try to use AI, and you're getting alerts from these advanced tools, and it's in the end sometimes not helping. And you've got a lot of tools that overlap, that have overlapping functions, and we're not really prioritizing the unique functions of a new tool. We're actually letting a lot of tools overlap, and they shouldn't. So what we've done is we put a lot of emphasis into this problem, and what we have is actually, instead of having just one AI, we have multiple AIs, and they each work at different timescales, right? And above these, each one of these AIs can detect things, and they can pop alerts. And above this, we've got a meta learner. So we've got this big AI above it that says, well, before you start to bother the analyst, let me have a look at this, and I'll sort of be able to measure and weigh all the different alerts I can see on the system. So, for example, it can say, well, if, for example, somebody's saying, oh, well, I see there's a data exfiltration, we actually have an AI that says, well, I have an AI that specializes in looking at that, and it's not saying anything, so I don't believe that answer. So we actually use AI to counter that problem, and we have AI to prioritize and to really make sure that those alerts are what they say they are. And of course, a lot of threat intelligence, and we use cyber intelligence to prioritize and put these things into context. But AI was our solution.
Excellent. You're kind of foreshadowing a discussion that we're going to come back around to that topic. Very good. Thank you. And Rudolph, your thoughts on this alert catastrophe?
Yeah, I mean, I think two things, right? Like, one is I'm actually curious how much of this is really influenced by folks that are still on kind of more traditional signature-based IDS, type solutions, where that's kind of biasing their perspective. But I think to build on something that William said, the other thing that we're doing is we're also, like, how many of this large number of alerts is actually tied to the same attack, right? Like, so we're using AI to kind of start to collate things together and say, hey, this particular attack has actually had 5 different stages, right? If you're familiar with the MITRE attack framework or things like that. So being able to correlate those and kind of connect all of those together, I think also helps kind of funnel it back, saying, yes, you see 57 instances of this, but it's actually just one attack with these 3 hosts involved. So I think, the onus is on us as vendors and as providers within the cybersecurity industry to kind of do some of these correlations, right? And I think AI provides a lot of benefit in this particular area, not just in the raw detection, but then in the analysis, if you will.
Yep, that makes absolute sense to me. And what you're both doing is there's this correlation, whether it's correlation across time or across devices, to try and reduce all of this noise and make things more meaningful. And Danny, even though we're kind of a layer underneath here in terms of helping to address alert, I mean, at a fundamental level, does the technology, the deep packet inspection, that Enea makes, does that contribute to?
Yeah, definitely. I think here what's important is that we provide the right metadata and all that to build the right models, which is important to have much more meaningful alerts and all that. And I also agree with all what my fellow panelists just said. There are multiple sources of alerts and also redundant tools and all that. And also the same problem, having multiple alerts related to it, creates all this alert fatigue problem, which AI is the best solution we have today, I think, to solve. So yeah.
Very interesting. And I was wondering while you were speaking, just for all our panels, if you had your crystal ball, do you think we're heading towards a future, maybe not too far in the future, where alerts will just kind of cease to exist? That we'll move from alerts to action, from take the reins to our AI and our other advanced systems and just do it. Maybe have the trail to show me how we got there. Let me take a look and understand what's happening. But more and more automation. Do you think we're moving from alert to action? Anybody else have that kind of feeling?
Yeah, we do. And I mean, we definitely, at the start of our company, we didn't get much on automatic response. So lots of people saying, I want to be alerted, but I really want to be in control when I respond to that. And the more it goes, and the less people saying that. We're getting more people say, I just want you to deal with it. I just want you to shut that down. As long as it's not critical server, I just want you to shut that down. So yeah, we're definitely moving towards automatic response from AI.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting little signals for that. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say I think you're seeing all of the buzz around AI agents more broadly, right? Not just in cybersecurity. I think that's certainly to come. I still think there is going to be a place for a human in the loop. At least for the foreseeable future. Right now, I've been known to be wrong before, so maybe I'm being pessimistic here, or not as optimistic, I suppose. But I think there's definitely a trend towards getting more and more data so that it analyzed, not just raw data being spat out at the human, right? And I think that's definitely a trend that's going to continue.